Today we got the Quickie 646 chair. This has been in storage for some time. This is the SE package. This has um, power tilt. This one doesn't have any legs on it at the moment. It's been in storage, as you can tell. It's got the 3-key joystick, and I like this one because it has the additional speed switch with the toggle switch. It's got an attendant joystick, which is pretty cool. You can press this button, set the speed, and you can drive it. Let me see. Here we go. On this chair, set up left goes left and right goes right. See, battery box comes out pretty easily. Get the batteries out. Just do this, both sides, and then there's your batteries. So pretty cool. That's pretty quick. Just latch. Okay, let's get these latched. There we go. Got it. These have the 3.00 by 8. These are solid tires. They have like a little bit of tread left. Probably between 20-ish, 30. Front casters are solid. Shows wear. Nice little chair here. You see the actuator. Get to the various settings. Pick the mode. Oh, you guys change it. There we go. You click on mode to get to the different drives. It blinks, you can move it. Once you're done, you click mode. Goes to the tilt options. We don't want that. Then it selects the drive. Um, you have to be careful when replacing these joysticks because sometimes they can look the same, but the software inside is different. And if you get one that's not compatible, it may power on, it may let you go to the first drive, but when you go to mode, it just will not let you select another drive. So there are several variations that could work, but if you get one that doesn't, that's what would happen. Here's the tilt options. You press it forward, it goes back. This one can drive a little bit. Okay, about right there is the highest you can go and not be able to drive. It lets you drive it uh, a little bit tilt back, so the drive lockout is set a little high on this. It goes pretty far back. A little windy out today. Let's see how far back we can get it. Good for blood pressure. You have some, if you put some elevating leg rest on here, you can get help get your feet right where your heart is or above. There we go. And to get it back down, you just push this lever down, backwards, starts going down. We'll take it for a test drive. We have the lateral pads. I think these fold back, I can show you that. Almost there. There we go. I'll stop it right there. You see here. Chest strap. There we go. So you help transfer out of the chair a little bit easier. Yep. Locks. A little snug, but you see here. We can take it for a little drive. We got some good test to put it through. This is obviously a very dangerous slope here. My last video, I kind of slid all the way down. So what I'm going to do, we can check how good the brakes are on this. I would say let's go to drive 1. We'll turn the speed down a little. Oh, I'm in tilt mode. There we go. Turn the speed down a little bit and see if it cut me from not actually sliding down this. Even though my tread is not as good on these tires, I think I could go down this without actually sliding down. Let's see. Very gently. I think I should be fine. Very nice. A little bit of a drop off right here. So I'm going to actually very slowly off this. Okay. Go. Alright. Probably the worst thing you can drive your chair over. Okay, I can set this up a little higher now. Let's go to let's go to the fastest drive, and I'll keep it on a little bit slow so I can get over this gravel. Yeah, I don't like the gravel because it nicks the casters, and especially the casters, it'll chip the casters. This is smaller gravel, so it's not as bad, but it's definitely not good on the chair. There we go. Doing just fine. Alright. So I'm going to put it to high speed now. Motors sound great, actually. Here. This chair, it's a little old. It still handles very well, even though this road is curved. This is pretty steep right here. I'm still in full speed. Motor sound in sync. It's pulling it a lot better than a lot of chairs. We're still going up a hill here. We're about to hit a flat spot up here. I weigh around 160 pounds. A little bumpy. There we go. Leveling out a little bit. Alright. Very nice. I'm going to start slowing down a little bit. I'm going to turn around. And this is a very crucial test. If you like to drive outside a lot, you want to make sure that the brakes are working and that the chair doesn't actually slide when you're trying to slow down or brake. So I'm going to do two tests here, which I'm going to go full on brake mode and just let off the joystick and see if I slide into the ditch, or go very slow and see if it helps me from not just slide slowly into the ditch. Speed up a little bit here. We're approaching this. So I'm gonna, when I get to the steepest part, I'm gonna let off the joystick and see if I can stop, not fall out of this chair. Alright. It's gonna be pretty rough. It'll be about right here. Stop. Barely any slide. It's very, very impressive. I'm backing up. It's actually backing the whole chair up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna hit the mode button. And I'm gonna go to the first drive and see if it could hold the slow speed going down a hill without causing too much stress on the brakes and just locking up and sliding into the side of the road where it's actually leaning more towards the right. very crucial test. The drive Cobalt couldn't handle it and just kept sliding into the ditch. I'm going pretty slow here, and it's actually holding its own. It is trying to pull just a tad bit to the ditch, which is normal for this slope. Alright, it actually handled it quite well. So let's start turning it back on. Let's see. Keep turning it off. You gotta press down on it. There we go. Go. Okay. I'm gonna slowly approach this. Good deal. I'll stop it about over here. And we'll talk a little bit about it. There you have it. This is obviously an older chair. They still do make the SE package, I believe. This one doesn't have the recline. We actually had one, a new one in, and I'm not trying to beat on Quickie. I was a little bit upset with it. The way that the recline was set up on the newer ones was it was on a rail. It had a little plastic, like I think it had 4 plastic pieces, and it was on a sliding rail. And when the chair had to pivot, it would move on that rail. And I guess if nothing happens to the chair, it's fine. If you're in a situation where the chair tips over, it probably will be a problem. Um, we had somebody that was going over the back of their house. This was concreted. They accidentally slid off the concrete, and the chair um, went off the concrete and slid down a hill. And what had happened was the whole back had ripped off, and it was in really bad shape. And it only happened one time, and the chair was riveted together. So almost had to send it off to the whole factory because I had sat down with another person, and they said this is something that's gonna have to be shipped out. I looked at it and I said, well, if we can just put a screw, a nut, and washer, a lock nut, it would hold it together. And when we did that, what had happened was the back was tilted, reclined back, and it kept hitting that screw. So it had to be riveted. That's why they did it. And so to me, I think it's a bad design. They shouldn't be plastic pieces that go on a sliding rail that tilt the back of the chair. It was really, I mean, it worked fine after we fixed it up, but it was sad. We had a Invacare Storm rear-wheel drive chair, and he's actually went off that several times, probably 4 times, in his Invacare chair, and never really caused damage to the Invacare chair. So it's just built a little bit better than the Quickie. But as far as the motors and the batteries that were in our Quickie, it actually was very decent. When he was driving, he would get warnings that the motors were overheat, and it would automatically slow down the chair. Other than that, we didn't have to replace the motors in a 4 to 5 year span. It was fine. The tires, they're a little bit difficult on the Quickie to replace. The ones we took off, the rim had to be pressed in with a tool, and the tool we usually use wasn't even good enough to get the rim pressed onto the tire. So it is a little bit more difficult to get the rim off. Even to get it off, it was more difficult than probably any other chair that I've worked on for some reason. And that is the last 2 has been like that. I don't know if it's just bad luck or if that's just how they are. Other than that, I mean, they seem like decent chairs. Um, it drove, it handled the hill very well. It handled the descent very well. I have to give it props. So this is still a decent chair. You can still find these joysticks. Um, the arm pads are cheap to find as long as you find the spacing that you need where the screws are. So overall, it's a good chair. Um, parts, uh, the SE motors are a little bit hard to find. The tires are a little bit hard to find, but they're a little bit costly. Other than that, uh, if you got another Quickie chair, this would be a great addition. Thanks for watching.